You ever have a moment so unreal, so out of body, you think, this is the story people are going to remember me for? For me, that moment started right in my own driveway, the place where I was supposed to feel safest, where my brilliant, beautiful son, Yalen, should have just been a kid getting ready for college, living his life without worrying about the opinions or agendas of other people. But safety can be an illusion. You know what I mean? All it took was one neighbor, one ugly comment, and suddenly I was fighting to protect not just my son, but my whole sense of what's right in the world. It started at a neighborhood block party, as those things always do, potato salad, small talk, and everyone pretending they don't see the lines drawn through the middle of the community. Linda, the self-appointed queen bee of our block, was there in all her neon glory. She fixed her eyes on my son, who'd just landed a citywide scholarship, and smiled one of those smiles you feel in your bones. "It's wonderful they give opportunities to kids like yours," she said, voice bright and cold as glass. "Keeps them out of trouble." Yeah, that happened. Every muscle in my body wanted to shout. You mean hardworking, you mean brilliant, you mean the kid who spends Friday nights coding instead of partying. But I just stood there, the air thick as honey. You know that feeling. When a seed of prejudice gets planted so deep, you know it'll take root. I wish I could say that was the worst of it, but that was just the opening act. The main show started weeks later on one of those August afternoons that feel like the world's been left on broil. Our garage was a disaster full of boxes I'd avoided since my husband died, and Yalen decided it was finally time to sort it out. He's that kind of kid, can't leave a problem alone, stubborn as an oak. So there he was, hauling boxes out to the porch, sweat rolling down his face, and me watching through the kitchen window with a pitcher of lemonade and a heart ready to burst. The thing about our neighborhood is, on the surface, it's all American dream lawns and garages and HOA that cares more about the color of your mailbox than your name. But we were one of 3 black families, and beneath the neighborly smiles, you feel the scrutiny. We kept our grass short, our music quiet, tried to be twice as good just to be seen as equal. And Linda, in her beige McMansion with those creepy plastic flamingos, was always there to remind us where she thought we belonged. So picture this. Yalen's in the driveway, arms full of his dad's old records, and suddenly Linda's new green BMW swings right up, no signal, no warning, just bold as you please, nose first into our open garage. She's not there to talk, not there to visit. She's just taking up space. Like our home was a public parking lot she could claim whenever she wanted. Yalen stands there quiet but burning, and I know he's weighing every word, every move. He asks her as polite as he can manage if she needs help. Linda doesn't even look up from her phone. "I'm fine," she snaps. "Just needed some shade. Shade when her own garage is 100 yards away. You ever see someone test you just to see if you'll break?" That's what this was. A power play. When Yalen tells her she needs to move, she finally looks at him, takes in every inch of him, and says, "You people are always so aggressive." There it is, the mask off the real venom underneath. I watched as Yalen's shoulders tensed, saw the fight between anger and exhaustion on his face. But instead of lashing out, he just walked over to the garage door button, looked right up at our old Ring camera, and pressed it. The garage door started to close, slow and steady, right onto the hood of her precious BMW, not enough to hurt it, but enough to block her in. A clear line, a boundary. He didn't yell, didn't threaten. He just drew the line, calm as anything. That's when Linda exploded. She screamed, laid on her horn, pounded her fists on the window, claimed she was being held hostage in broad daylight on our property with the driveway behind her wide open. Neighbors peeked out, phones appeared, and it was like someone had hit the drama button on our little suburban block. Yalen, still cool as ever, told her, "You can back up. The door's open a foot. Just put it in reverse." She didn't want solutions, though she wanted a spectacle. Then Linda pulled her ace. She called 911, voice suddenly trembling, tears she could turn on and off like a faucet. "There's a young black man. He's threatening me. Please hurry. I'm scared for my life." That's the nightmare, isn't it? The weaponization of fear. In that second, the air in our kitchen turned to ice. I dropped the lemonade pitcher glass shattering and ran outside, heart hammering. Within minutes, our quiet street was awash in red and blue lights, 3 squad cars screeching to a halt. Cops with hands on their weapons shouting for my son to raise his hands. Linda, now the damsel in distress, stumbled toward them, sobbing out her story. I threw myself between them, voice cracking as I tried to explain, but all they saw was the image she painted, a young black man, tall and strong, standing over a hysterical white woman. It was her word against ours, until Yalin, bless that boy, reminded everyone about the camera. Officer checked the ring footage. Everything's recorded. The shift was instant. The detective Harris, salt and pepper mustache, tired eyes, watched the video on my shaking phone. He heard her words, saw my son's composure, saw the truth laid bare, the drama drained out of the scene, replaced by a heavy silence. Linda, caught in her own performance, tried to play it off, said she was just frightened, just misunderstood, but Harris wasn't buying it. Turns out this wasn't Linda's first rodeo. She'd made false reports before, always targeting black and brown families, always hiding behind her fake fear. This time, with the ring footage and Harris's patience at its end, he told her straight, "This pattern ends today. We're pressing charges." The whole neighborhood, glued to their phones, watched the drama spill onto the news. The video went viral, hashtags took over, and suddenly Linda's green BMW was more famous than half the celebrities in the country. Neighbors who'd never said a word before started apologizing, bringing over pies, actually talking. Even Linda's own son, Kyle, who'd been quietly dating Maria from the Latina family she once called Ice on, released a statement denouncing his mother moving out to live with Maria's family. The internet had a field day, but beneath the memes was real anger, and for once, it made a difference. Our HOA kicked Linda out of every community event. Her car got egged. Protesters with garage remotes showed up in silent protest, clicking them in unison, a perfect poetic revenge. And inside her house, she was alone, her kingdom gone. Her son disowned her, the plastic flamingos out front, the last silent witnesses to her downfall. But the best part, the real twist, was Yalin. He used the whole mess as the centerpiece of his college essay, writing not about rage, but about the strategy of staying calm, about letting evidence speak when words fall short. He called it "Trapped in My Own Driveway," and Columbia University gave him a full ride. He went on to study journalism, determined to shine light on every system that lets people like Linda twist the truth. Linda, meanwhile, faced her reckoning. The video, the pattern of false reports, the hate crime enhancement. She got 3 years in state prison. Her house was sold, her BMW repossessed, and the place went to a Vietnamese family whose kids now play on the same grass she once guarded like a dragon. Kyle and Maria married, started a nonprofit for cross-cultural understanding, and the rest of us built something stronger out of the ashes, a neighborhood where people actually know each other's stories, where we celebrate Diwali and Juneteenth and salsa dancing nights in the community center Linda can't step foot in. I'm not saying justice is always this clean. It isn't. But sometimes when you refuse to play the role they expect, when you outthink instead of outshout, and when the truth is caught on tape for everyone to see, you get something close. Sometimes the worst day of your life becomes the story that opens 1,000 doors for you and for everyone like you. So what do you think? Was justice served? Does exposure matter more than punishment? Or does a community only heal when the whole story is finally told out loud? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about what real justice looks like and how a single afternoon can change everything.